Namaste. Welcome to another episode of Ask Marty. I'm so glad you're here. Today's question comes from Allie, and Allie writes, I know something needs to change, but I don't know where to start. How did you get to where you are? How do I get started? Allie, thank you so much for your question. I'd like to start this out by throwing back a playful question of my own and ask you, where is it that you think that I am? And I ask that not to be catty in any way, but to bring about an awareness of how we tend to, myself included, look at people in a place of leadership. They might be a teacher, they might be a mentor, they might be a friend, and we see them living the life of their dreams or achieving certain things in their lives or being spiritually grounded, and we create this sort of gap. Sometimes we call it putting them on a pedestal. However you look at it, it creates this space in between that can create a sense of lack in our own lives, as if we have less talent or less ability or less divine connection than this person that we are seeing as a leader. And I think it's important that whether we're looking at someone like the Dalai Lama or our next door neighbor or our best friend, that we level the playing field by remembering that we're all just human. So I'm just a human being, and I have struggles and triumphs just like anyone else. I feel like the main difference in the lives of those who are going after their dreams, who are pursuing the spiritual in their lives, is really quite simple from those who are not seeing the successes that they'd like to see in their lives. First of all, I think it's important to point out that most people who are achieving the life of their dreams or making the changes that they want to make in their lives are practicing presence. And in that presence, in that staying in the moment and really listening to what the moment has to offer, we're able to tune into our hearts. So this is the way that I get where I'm going, wherever that is. I catch myself in moments of fear, in moments of anxiety, in moments of indecision or disconnect from the divine. And I just keep pulling it back in, coming back to presence, coming back to listening to my own heart. I personally believe that each and every human being on the planet is implanted, if you will, with a divine mission, meaning a purpose that we're sent here on this earth to fulfill. I think simply put, that purpose is to be yourself. And anytime that you're not living as yourself in each moment, you're going to feel that need to make a change, because that internal metering system, that imprint within your own heart is going to let you know something's off. So this idea of practicing presence and remembering that learning to listen to your heart is going to take a lot of time. It won't happen necessarily overnight. So being patient and being willing to practice it, and being willing to make errors along the way, because those errors are really just the divine redirecting us, going, oh, not this way, go this way instead. So the second piece that I want to point out is that in this act of presence and listening to my heart, I had to stop searching, meaning I had to stop looking outside of myself for the answers and realize that every time I was finding an answer, it was because I turned my focus back inward and really listened to the call within my own heart. So it didn't really matter what change I felt I needed to make. My heart knew the way, and it still knows the way, and tomorrow it will know the way. So I keep coming back to that guidepost of my heart again and again. I feel like too often we give our power up to an external teacher or a mentor, or again, even it might be our best friend that we admire how they're living their lives, and we give up our personal power and try to become another person instead of being ourselves and being that spark of divinity that we're sent here to be. So I would just encourage you to keep coming back to presence and to stop looking outside of yourself for the answers. So the other piece that I want to leave you with is the power of making choices. So first of all, again, you have to be in a state of presence and listening to your own heart, not looking outside of yourself for the answers. But then when you hear those answers, making the choices and taking the actions that your heart is pointing you toward. I think this is where most of us get stuck. We hear the voice of the divine, we hear the voice of our hearts. We know what it is that we need to be doing. But we lack the courage, we lack the faith, we lack the trust, whatever you want to call it, to actually take those steps, to do the work that is needed in our lives to create the changes that will help us live the life of our dreams and fulfill our divine missions. So you got to do the work. You got to take the action steps. You have to get out there and get messy and get dirty and roll up your sleeves and be willing to really sort through your own baggage, if you will, the things that you're carrying around that are weighing you down and keeping you from springing forward and taking action in your life the way that your heart knows that you should. So Allie, that is my take on your question. Again, thank you so much for writing in. And if you have a question, please head over to my website, martytribble.com. Go to the contact page and you'll find my email address. You can shoot me a message and watch for your question to be answered on a future episode of Ask Marty. As always, let's stay connected. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, always posting lots of fun things. So we'll see you there in between. And until next time, be well. Namaste.